Howdy YouTube, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, part 3 of the incredible PBX install. Today, we're going to figure trunk lines, we're going to figure incoming routes and outgoing routes, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So, let's get the video started right now. Alright, so if you look over here on the flash operator panel, you'll see we have two trunks set up, but neither one of them are active. So what we need to do is come back to Incredible PBX. We're going to go to Connectivity, and we're going to go to Trunks. And now you remember in my other video that I showed you I deleted all those extraneous trunk line information. So the only one I'm dealing with now is VoIP.ms. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to edit it. Now I'm going to leave all of these settings just as they are. So what I'm interested in is right here, the SIP settings. So what you're going to need to do is register with VoIP.ms or whatever provider you use, and he's already got the fields filled out for you. So all you need to do is fill in the information, mainly your username. You need to change that to whatever ID they give you, your secret, then whatever host you're going to use, and then your from user needs to be changed as well. And that should be all there is to it. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my settings in there, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when the trunk is up. Now the other thing you need to be aware of is this incoming tag. You need to make sure you enter your account number, colon, your registered password at, and then in my case it would be houston.voip.ms/ and then my account number there again. So just FYI, you want to make sure you fill this field out as well with the information that VoIP.ms gives you. You also want to enter your outbound caller ID in this field, and that is my telephone number, so that's what I'm going to enter as my outbound caller ID. And then the final step, make sure you tell it you're not disabling the trunk. So tell it no, and then submit, and then come up here and apply your configuration. Now, within a minute or two, we should see our trunk go online here. So let's go back to the dashboard and see if we see any trunks go online. I don't see any trunks registered at all. Just let's double check. Make sure I've got this set right. Let's see, my caller ID, allow any, maximum channels, we're going to set that at 2. I forgot to enter that setting. Continue busy. Click this to disable the trunk in all routes where it is used. No. Let me submit it. Apply. And let's go back to the dashboard. And we now see our one trunk is now online. And if we come to flash operator panel, it doesn't show any change. I don't know why. It just shows it as being there, but normally it would show something when it's activated. But I'm going to go with this and assume that our trunk is online and we're good to go. So that's how easy it is to set a trunk line up. Now we need to be able to dial some outgoing calls and have incoming calls directed to the proper extensions. So we're going to do that next. Alright, let's get this sucker set up so we can receive some incoming calls. Now, you need to think about how you're going to do this. Let me come up to the webcam so I can... There I am. You need to think about how you're going to do this. I'm going to do a real simple setup right now. I'm going to simply have an incoming call ring 2 extensions. Okay? So what I need to do is set up a ring group in order to do that. I think we'll see when we get into the interface. But the other way to do it is if you were in a business, you might want to have it come in to a pre-recorded message and then tell people press 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for this, 4 for this. you love these phone trees. That will cover in an advanced topic. We're just trying to get our phone system up and running and receive phone calls. So let's do that next. So let's come back over here to Chrome. Let's go to Connectivity, and we want to do our inbound routes. Now, they've already created an inbound route for you, and I'm just going to use that route and edit it. And what this means is any direct inward dialing number with any caller ID number, it's a default. It goes to IVR demo IVR. I don't want it to go there. I want it to go to a couple of extensions. So let's click on the edit button here, and we're going to leave this, we'll just leave it at default. I don't want to I don't want to make things any more troublesome than they need to be. Music on hold. All these are going to change. All these are going to stay the same except for set destination. So I wanted to come to, instead of an IVR, I wanted to come to an extension. And I wanted to ring my desk. So it's as easy as changing that to the extension, 200, submit, then apply the configuration. And now let's go back to go back to our dashboard. Okay, and I'm going to attempt to call my phone on my desk here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we've done this correctly. And I see my phone ringing. I can hear it ringing. And I can hear the bell. And I see the inbound caller ID. So that was pretty damn simple, wasn't it? That's all it took to get the phone set up to accept incoming calls, right? But there are times I might be over at my work desk and I'd want the phone at the work desk to ring at the same time it rings my desk phone, because I could be in two different places. So it's easy enough to do that. We just need to set up a ring group. So let's do that next. Come back to Chrome. Go back to our, this time we're going to go to applications and we're going to come down here to ring groups. Right here. And I'm just going to click on add a ring group. And the ring group number, we'll start this with, let's just call it 705, okay? And this is Joe and work. You call it anything you want. Now what you do is you put your extensions in here. So I know I want it to ring my desk, and I know I want it to ring the work desk. The strategy is ring all, and if you hover over these little, you see these little helpful icon, or these little helpful question marks here, it tells you exactly what happens if you change that, what that setting means, okay? And then destination, if no answer, we're going to go to, we'll just go to voicemail. We'll just go to a voicemail at Joe's desk, busy message. So click on submit and click apply. So now when I call that phone number, it will ring both phones, and if there is no answer, it'll come down here and go to my desk and leave a voicemail. So let's test it. Oh, wait a minute, we can't test it because why? If we go to the inbound routes, and if we go to that route we created, we've told it to ring an extension. We need to change this on the destination. We need to change this to a ring group. So we highlight that, come down here to ring groups. And I know you couldn't see that, but trust me, it does a little pop-up window here. Sorry you can't see it. And it says 705 Joe and work. In fact, let me do this. There you go. Now you can see the drop down. So I just came down here and selected ring groups. I'm going to submit. I'm going to apply. And I'm going to come back to my dashboard. Now I'm going to test that. I'm going to call my phone number again here. So now it's ringing at my desk, and it's ringing on the phone behind me. You can see the flashing red light in the upper left hand corner of that color displayed phone. Now if I don't answer, it's going to go to my voicemail message for extension 200 and leave a voicemail. That's what it's doing. I'm on the phone. I need to leave a message after my tone. And when I'm done, I can hang up or press the pound key. So I'm leaving you a message. I'm all done, and hopefully you'll get this voicemail. Let's say it works. Let's hope it works. Bye-bye. All right, so I have left myself a voicemail, and it has triggered the voicemail icon on my phone, so I should be able to go out and get my, oh, there's another call. See, I got it up and running. That was cool. Now, according to my phone, I have a voicemail, so let's hear what happens.
You have one new message. Press 1 for new messages. Press first message.
Get up or press the pound key. So I'm leaving you a message. I'm all done,
It's
and
magic.
hopefully you'll get this voicemail. Let's say it works. Let's hope it works. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Press 3 for advanced options.
Wow.
Press 5 to repeat the current message.
Wow.
Press 7 to delete this message. Press 8 to message deleted.
It's all gone now.
Press 3 for advanced options.
All right, that was simple enough, and now my voicemail indicator is cleared on my phone. Wow, that was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah. Don't let phone systems intimidate you. Once you have some of the basic knowledge to set it up, it's not a problem. So now let me show you what happens with Flash Operator Panel and why I find that thing so handy to have. And the version I'm using is free. I think it's free for 15. Yeah, it's limited to 15 extensions. You can see right down here at the bottom, limited to 15 extensions, but right there. But we're gonna see what happens when I call in to the Flash Operator Panel. So you can see my trunk line lines up with the caller ID, and you can see it's ringing both phones. Now we're gonna let it go to voicemail, and so I can let you see what happens once it goes to voicemail, if it goes to voicemail. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have a drink of coffee because my coffee's gotten cold. I'm on the phone. Okay, this is me. I'm leaving a voicemail, and hopefully you'll get it and return my call because I'm a very, very important person. If you don't believe it, just ask my wife. Bye. Alright, so now if we look at the Flash Operator Panel, we can see there's a little icon next to the extension, which means there's a voicemail. Now, I've also set this up to deliver voicemail to my Unky Joe's Playhouse at Gmail account so I can get it there. So, yeah, it's going to spam. That's okay, though. But it tells me where the phone call was from. It even allows me to download the message and play it through my email. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I like it. So you can see how helpful Flash Operator Panel can be to you. You can monitor what calls are going out or coming in, who's on the phone, how long they've been on the phone. There are ways to even dial, barge a call, to record a call, to hang up a call, to listen to a call. So if you're in a corporate environment, you're training a user and you want to listen in on their call, this is why they say phone calls may be monitored or recorded for technical support or whatever. You have the ability to do that. Now, one more thing I want to show you real quick is some of the reporting features of Incredible PBX, and because they can be very helpful. So you come up here to reports, go to asterisk info. This will tell you your SIP registrations, PJ SIP registrations, and IAX2 registrations. It'll also tell you your channels, your peers, Chan SIP info. A lot of good information here that you can see. Let's go to registries, and you'll see that I'm registered with VOIP.ms, etc. Other reports are the asterisk log files, so you can see what's going on in there. So if you have any trouble with it, you get on the forums to get help. They might ask you to include your log file. It's right there. Another handy one is call data reports. You can search by any number of these fields. I'm just going to search on the calls today, and you can see, let's see here, the caller ID, the DID, the app it went to, the destination, what the disposition was, etc. And then also under reports you have call event logging. I'm just going to run it for forever for today. So this tells you where this person called, what they did, how long they were on, etc. So very, very helpful reports built into Incredible PBX. I'll come back to the dashboard here. So Incredible PBX is incredible, but I find Flash Operator Panel indispensable if you want to get some really pertinent data on your calls coming in and going out, and you can see at a glance who's on the phone, who's using what. Don't let this software intimidate you. The reason I switched from free PBX over to Incredible PBX, as you all know, is because just ease of use. I didn't want all those adverts popping up in the PBX, and free PBX was doing some squirrely stuff I know the guys over at that make Incredible PBX. Well, I don't know him personally, but I do know Ward Mundy. I've corresponded with him before. And this guy would not put out a phone system unless it was rock solid. Now, he used to have a derivation of this called PBX and a flash, but he quit supporting that because 3CX has got an incredibly powerful phone system that they've developed. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it so much I'll probably be pushing it on to a customer, because 3CX has some features and functions that Incredible PBX doesn't have. Incredible PBX is wonderful for the home. You can run it on one of those small Intel NUCs. You can run it on a virtual machine like I do. If you have a lot of servers laying around, it doesn't take a lot of power. You know, I've given it a dual core with 2 gig of RAM and like an 80 gig hard drive, I think, on my virtual machine. Doesn't take a lot of power to run, and it runs your whole phone system. You'll find the most money you're going to spend is on good quality phones. So I like Grandstream phones. I have yet to have a Grandstream phone fail on me. I've had them do some quirky stuff. Sorry, I said shit word. Quirky stuff, but usually a firmware upgrade takes care of that. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do, is make sure when you get your phones in to firmware update them. And Grandstream phones are within everybody's financial reach. They have low-end phones, they have high-end phones. I have other people that swear by SNOM, S-N-O-M phones. In fact, a good resource for you is VoIP Supply. Let me see if I can bring them up. And that's who I buy my phones from. Or I get them off Amazon. But I'm going to warn you, when you get your phones off Amazon, Amazon only gives you 30 days to return them. Amazon is not an authorized reseller of Grandstream phones. So if you buy them from Amazon, Grandstream is not going to honor the warranty. I've already run into this problem. But if you go over to VoIP Supply, like I am doing right now, and you go to brands, you have all kinds of brands down here. Let's go to the Grandstream, and you'll see all the phones that they have here. Let's go to their phones. I mean, they have phones. Let's see. Let's show them by price, low to high. Let's see. So their entry-level phone is like $42. Okay, not bad, huh? Now it's only 10100. So if you're not going to run a separate line for each telephone, then you want to make sure you get a phone that supports gigabit throughput, because you're going to put the phone between your PC and your network. And if you don't have a separate line for your phone system and for your phones, but you can see why everybody buys Grandstream phones. And here's that one I have in my office. They got a refurb one for $60. And I know these folks at VoIP Supply. I've dealt with them in the past. That's who I buy all my VoIP phones through, and I cannot recommend them strongly enough. They're a really good organization, and they stand behind everything they sell. It's great now. So now we got inbound calls working. What about outbound calls? Well, that's where it gets a little bit complicated. So let's get on it right now. All right, so what we want to do is come up here to connectivity and then outbound routes. Now, outbound routes can get a little complicated because this is where you need to put dial strings. So I'm going to put, I'm just going to start with an outbound route. We'll click on here, add outbound route. And I'm going to call this VoIP MS out. You can call it any darn thing you want. Now, the route caller ID, let's click on the little question mark. This is optional route caller ID to be used for this route. If set, this will override all caller IDs specified except the extension device emergency caller IDs, trunk caller ID, which we already set. So I don't need to set anything here, right? Override extension, no. Route password, no. Route type could be either emergency or intra-company. The music on hold is default. The time group is permanent. The route position is first before. Trunk sequence for matched routes. Okay, we need to click on this, and we need to choose VoIP.ms. Okay, make sure that's set. Now then, the hard part. Let's come over here to dial patterns. Now, what I'm going to do is click here, Dial Patterns Wizard. And I'm going to have it add the following: 7-digit, 10-digit, U.S. emergency, and U.S. toll-free patterns. And long distance. And 11. And I think that's all I need. Generate routes. So you can see what it does here. It generates all your outbound routes here for you, including 911. Now I'm going to look at these routes a little closer. I want this route. I want that route. I want the 1NX. I want the 800. I want the 888. I want the 877. I want the 866. 855. I guess these are new toll-frees. Here's the deal. Any you're not sure of, get rid of them. I know there's 1-800 and 1-888, but I don't know about 1-877. I don't know about 866, so I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use that one, or that one. 833. The other thing I'm not going to put in here are emergency routes like 911, 933, 911, 911. So I'm going to get rid of those because I don't use 911 on my VoIP system. Don't trust it. I use my cell phone. So these patterns should be enough for us to use. Let's see. Let's just go over them one more time. I'm going to go ahead and submit and then apply. So there's my outbound route, VoIP MS out. It's going to use VoIP MS. It's a permanent route. No change of the route position. It's not going to override the extension. Let's see, go back to our dial patterns, verify all that's there. Let's go to additional settings and see if we need anything. Call recording, no, I don't care. That's an advanced option, so we'll come back to that later. All right, so let's come back now. Now that we've created an outbound route, we should be able to make an outbound call. Now watch it make a liar out of me. I'm gonna do this live. So let's come over here to Flash Operator Panel. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try and call my cell phone. And it's working. You hear my cell phone ringing. Okay, so that worked. But the problem is that I had to dial the entire number. I had to dial the 1, the area code, and the phone number. I don't want to have to do that every time. So what we need to do is come back into Incredible PBX, go to Connectivity, and go to Trunks. And let's go to our VoIP MS trunk, because there is a way, it's called Dial Manipulation Rules. And these are the rules that I put in here. Let me show you what they are. The first one I do is I prepend a 1 plus the prefix, and then I do the following code. NXX, that's like my 881, and then N XXXXXX. Okay? So that tells it all numbers to prepend 1 plus the prefix to any number string beginning with this. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 digit number. So I add that in there. The other thing I do is I prepend my area code to any number with any number that is 7 digits in length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So any number that is 10 digits gets prepended with a 1. So if I were to dial 210-881-0909, it would have prepend the 1 to it. That's what my trunk provider needs in order to route a call. And now another area code I deal with is 830. So that's why I have 1210 appended to any numbers that are less than, that are 7 digits or less. And if I need to dial my area code in my area, which is 830, I would just dial that 830 and then the phone number, and then none of this would match it. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that and then apply the settings. So now in theory, all I need to do is call my phone number here at the office, or call my cell phone from here at the office with a 10 or 7 digit number. And the phone system will know how to route that call. And there you go. You see it prepended the 1 and the 210 to the number that I was calling. I'm going to go ahead and end that call. So there you go. That is one of the hardest parts that people have, is that dial manipulation rule. So if you just use this as a template for you guys, you can also look it up on Google and find some more information on that. But now we have inbound calls coming into a ring group, and we know where to route outbound calls to with our VoIP provider. So we give them the information that tells them how to route the calls. I'm not covering 911 because I don't believe you should do 911 on a VoIP. You should do 911 on your cell phone. Pretty much everyone has a cell phone these days. You can create special rules to handle 911 that sends them your caller ID and sends them your address information, but you also have to register that information with your VoIP provider if you're going to use VoIP in a business. At least in the United States, they require you to submit that information. So in the event somebody were able to dial 911 but weren't able to communicate, they were overcome by smoke or whatever, they would know what location that 911 call is coming from, and they can dispatch responders. So it's very important, if you're going to use this in a business or if you're home and you don't have a cell phone, make sure you cover your butt and set up 911 properly. That's going to do it for part 3 of the incredible PBX setup and install. And hopefully you got some information out of this video. We learned how to set up our trunk lines. We learned how to set up our incoming and outgoing calls. How to set up dial strings, that kind of thing. And that can get very complicated. I simplified it as much as I can, but I can understand if some of you might have questions as to how exactly that would be done in your circumstance. So you can send those questions to unclejoesplayhouse@gmail.com. I'll be happy to answer as many of them as I possibly can to help you get through your individual phone setup. Now, we're going to be doing some additional videos in line with Incredible PBX, and part 4 is going to be on the actual phones themselves, some of the advanced configuration options on the phone. I'm going to show you how to get the busy lamp fields working, what those are, what they mean, how to set up shortcut buttons on your phones, and we'll be doing that with the phones behind us. And we're also going to introduce that Cisco phone that Sasha sent me. The reason I didn't include the Cisco phone in the initial setup is because I wanted to save that for a video of its own when we went over the actual phone configurations, to show you the differences between the Grand Streams, the Astras versus the Cisco phones. So, you know, a lot of people get caught up, oh, Cisco is complicated. Not really. They've got a pretty good web interface on this phone, and we should be able to figure it out together. So anyway, we hope you found the video entertaining and informative. As always, give us a thumbs up down below. If you liked the video, leave your comments in the comments sections. We take PayPal and Patreon donations if you're so inclined. Help us get more stuff in here to put together videos on for you guys. That'd be great. And leave your comments in the comments section. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And any questions you have, send them to unclejoesplayhouse@gmail.com. And don't forget, hit the little notification bell. Subscribing evidently is not enough on YouTube. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget, we'll see ya on the other side.